Here we are once again. Fuck is right, dude. It's been a day. It's been a day. We are a day late, actually. Usually our videos come out on fucking Tuesday. Our videos. I keep using that word inappropriately.
Videos,
still.
podcasts.
Yeah, our podcasts come out on Tuesday, but
whatever the fuck you want to call it.
We decided to delay without any announcement because nobody gives a fuck, anyways. The release of this episode.
Sorry, we didn't warn you guys. Sorry.
Until today to coincide with the what the fuck was it called this time?
PS5 Showcase.
PS5
September
Showcase.
16 edition. I think that's it.
Yeah, Sony's PS5 Showcase this year, and PS5 Showcase this fucking occasion. Anyways, we saw one most recently, just a couple of months ago, didn't we, Alex?
The last PlayStation wasn't that more in the summer.
It was in
like
August
early,
or something like that, right? Remember the event we were watching on Discord?
That's right. This one was fucking no bullshit.
This one was something else, yeah.
And it was
no bullshit whatsoever.
It was awesome, dude. It was so good.
I guess we can fucking do a formal intro here and then get right into that shit, perhaps.
Let's do it.
Afternoon and welcome once again to Gaming Under the Influence. I'm Mike here with fucking Alex to talk to you once again about video games from Green Dragon CVR in Woodbridge, Ontario, your fucking local source in Vaughan for craft beer and video games. So,
fuck yeah.
Man, it was a pretty exciting showcase. I gotta say, I wasn't excited this morning because I thought it would be some kind of fucking, there'd be a bunch of like bullshit about, what Activision and fucking EA games are running on the system. Like, I mean, what sports games and like the Spider-Man and Godfall and like
FIFAs and your whatever. Yeah.
But then fucking the first thing we see is Final Fantasy XVI.
Right.
That's I can't fucking express to you how great it is to be wrong in these circumstances. What a wonderful thing.
I wasn't as pessimistic as you were. I thought they would have at least like one or maybe, two cool things to show, or like maybe one big announcement. I don't know, but I figured we'd finally get, the information we want on the console, which I know isn't the most fucking whatever. Like I would take a fucking tweet or a goddamn email. I just want to know, right? Just for purpose of knowing, but I get excited. I get unnecessarily excited. So I was stoked to see finally the release date, price. We figured we'd be getting that, but obviously more importantly, they showed quite a few games.
Pile of games,
most that we already obviously know about, but one that we didn't, the big one, Final Fantasy XVI, I think it's safe to say that was the big...
That was definitely cool, yeah. They just nonchalantly, fucking Microsoft be like, hey guys, we're going to announce that we're announcing Gears of War on this day. Okay, so tune in for the announcement of this thing we're announcing.
Square Enix was just like Final Fantasy 16.
Fucking Japan style.
Yeah.
Fucking ball.
And you know what I love too? Even I know we'll get to it later. But when PlayStation announced their like PS4 game, what was it? Essential Collection, which is essentially if you have PS Plus, I guess you get access to the select title of PS4 games. But it was like they just kind of I know you expressed like whatever, but they just dropped it, right? You know what I mean? They should not fucking... None of this bullshit about Microsoft saying, it's for our games, for everyone. PS4 games specifically are for everyone. Or any of that garbage. They just dropped it and showed it and were like, here. Much like the whole conference was just all trailers. And then I think at the end, I didn't even see it because I probably turned it off by then. But Herman Hulst had a few words just to say, but... basic, showed us what they want, what you want, and that's it. It was great. Honestly, it's so refreshing. I loved it.
Did enjoy it, I wasn't expecting that, frankly. I just thought it was going to be a bunch of trailers of games that we already know about coming next gen. And it wasn't really that. It wasn't even entirely about next gen games actually at all, was it? We saw some Demon Souls and stuff, but we also saw Deathloop and a couple of other titles I don't anticipate.
Yeah, I guess Deathloop is a current gen game as well.
So is the COD game. So is
Call of Duty.
A couple of other things on there.
Also, which
is nice. I actually fucking wrote down some of the ones that I was interested in. Not many of them. If you want to go through a couple of fucking topics,
we might as well. This is,
in my opinion, we're worth touching on at least a fucking little bit. And the first one was, of course, Final Fantasy XVI, which you and I talked about before. Looks to be returning to this, more traditional in terms of the Final Fantasy history, medieval fantasy vibe. Yeah, right. They got some fucking crystals and some Marlboros fucking there, and all the trappings for a fine game, no doubt.
I guess it had those before too.
My first fucking question is, who's in charge? But this time, is it Tabata Bai? The guy who brought 15 to completion, or
I don't even know. I didn't check.
Nomura,
I don't think it's Nomura, but I don't even know. They just showed that trailer, and I was like, holy fuck, but I don't think they really gave much detail about that, but that would be worth looking up,
the first thing I noticed, too, was in addition to...
I don't think it's Nomura, because isn't he doing...
It doesn't look like a Nomura game, actually.
It doesn't look like it, and I'm pretty sure he's tied up with 7 Remake right now.
his character's like fucking instantly you know what you're looking at, right? Like
Yeah.
You could tell because the people had realistic haircuts in this game that it wasn't a No More game, right?
Yeah, this has very
Yeah, and more like Game of Thronesy looking visuals, to be honest with you, right?
I was gonna say what
Less Japanese flair,
like more lifelike.
you know?
Yeah, more. What's the fucking word? Like
Photorealism.
Photorealism. Yeah, it had more.
Yeah.
More of that kind of vibe, which struck me as weird because when I saw a Chocobo, I was like, can this really be Final Fantasy? Like, it doesn't feel.
I thought it would be like a Crystal Chronicles thing, you know, based on what I was seeing.
When you said that, I was
very
like,
unlike
okay,
mainline
maybe,
entries, right? Like,
but yeah, it looked too high end for that. Like, it looks too like fucking.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Hey, fuck though, like. You know, I'm usually inclined to cynicism, but I like Square Enix. I like Final Fantasy.
You know what?
I feel like they have, you know, more vested in their flagship franchise, you know, as the people who are making it than I do as
they
somebody
care
who,
about them,
yeah,
man.
It's not like, you know, it's
Especially
not
if you look at like someone like Konami, like
they got a lot of
they're
lifers
fucking-
involved in that franchise. That's the fucking real thing to look at, in my opinion, right? Like, it's easy to understand how in the West, you know, or even in Japan, in certain fucking publishing houses, somebody's working on some franchise for a year before they move on to some other place. They're a careerist. They're not there because they love what they're doing. Right?
Yeah, these dudes have been
they're
there.
not Shuei Yoshida. They're not like, I can't wait to play that shit you're making. No, it's not like that.
no.
They're like, what's a video game? Like,
It's all just business, money, worth, whatever,
flowchart
right?
shit.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I whatever, man. Not to comment on whether or not that's good or bad, but it's totally not like
It's
same kind of thing, right?
definitely a different like culture than when you see the dudes at Square Enix, the guys who've been on Final Fantasy back then and
Since
doing
they were fucking
7 now.
younger than we are now,
Even the
right?
Dragon Quest, like largely when I looked up Dragon Quest.
Yeah, remember we
at,
talked about this before, how the
yeah.
dev team has been the same for fucking most of
which
the
is like
entries.
unheard of. That's
It is unheard
crazy.
of,
Like,
yeah.
how many Gears of Wars and Halos have been made with all kinds of different...
They couldn't even last 5 years without fucking everybody moving
Right?
on. But you know, there's probably way more to this than we can get into in this episode.
definitely.
But like, you know, we've mentioned before, and people can, you know, and we only get this information from fucking sources on the internet anyways. They can, you know, discuss it in greater detail. But the development culture is really different in Japan and in North America, right?
Yeah,
it's just the
from
way
what
that she
we've-
goes. It's,
Yeah.
you know, there's lifers.
Much like
there's lifers in Japan,
much
right?
like everything in the Japan, it's a totally different place. Crazy, way different culture.
Japanese
like just
spirit.
I love Japan. I'd love to fucking live there and some.
Yeah, I know, right? Another life. Fuck.
Yeah.
But 16, you know, there's crystals, there's medieval fantasy, etc., etc. After that, buddy, there was fucking another one that, you know, I was super stoked to see. I'm sure we talked about this in the past. I can't believe they haven't made it yet, but there was a fucking Potter game announced. Harry Potter Legends. What the fuck is it
I've
called?
heard of, like rumors and rumblings about that maybe a year ago. That it would be this fucking like RPG where you create your own character and you jump in the fucking wizarding world. So I'm surprised to see it here at a PlayStation show. Like, what? That's just, it's so random. But
I'm surprised
I'm also,
too.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, like you said, how
was
is
that
this
an
not,
exclusive before we move any further
you
on
know
that
what?
discussion?
That I have to check because
Yeah, we should check
I didn't
that out,
pick
but-
up on that.
So what it looks like, based on the footage we fucking witnessed, is, you know, it's not a game based on any of the Potter novels or fucking movies. It's instead, it seems to be fucking set in the Potter universe, and it takes place both within and without the walls of Hogwarts. So you probably have like a student life, and then after that you fucking grow up and go on to fight some dark wizards, I imagine.
It's not an exclusive at all.
Not an exclusive, okay. But it does look fucking sick. Now, one thing
really good.
I've talked about before that I really like, man, is when people fucking take a universe and they use it as the matter in their own fucking artistic conception, you know?
Right.
Taking something and making a fucking new
Yeah,
creation in
like-
that universe. Using it as like pigment in your own painting, man. And like fucking games like, universes like the Harry Potter universe, fucking they beg for that
ripe
shit. They just
for
beg
that
for that
shit,
shit.
yeah.
They set up all these like,
Yeah.
you know, natural and social categories, and they fucking tell you very specific stories within them, but those things are obviously begging for people to come up with their own fucking stories
It's true
within
because
it, right?
if
Like,
you think about it, they made all the Harry Potter games back,
Yeah.
you know, on the PS2,
Yeah.
3,
They were
whatever
based on the
hell.
movies and shit.
they were all based on the
yeah,
movies.
even if some of them were actually
And they were
I
okay.
guess,
No,
yeah,
like
but
I remember
they
playing.
were still, you know,
At the time, I remember playing the
I played
second
Chamber of
one.
Secrets.
Chamber
It
of
was good,
Secrets
yeah.
was sick. I liked it, right? But it doesn't hold a candle to something like you said. They're making this game set in Hogwarts, but it's not like a mimicking the movie, right?
That's right,
It's
yeah.
essentially its own fucking thing. And
Very
then-
cool, yeah.
especially being an RPG because that gives you a lot of, you know, choice and. Who knows what they're gonna come up with? I mean, it's too early to say.
I guess a
We
couple
haven't
of
seen much,
precedents for
but-
this, though, we could find in fucking, on the one hand, the Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, the first one of which I played, not the second, because
Right.
of all the fucking controversy surrounding it. I didn't even want to.
Yeah.
When I heard that the fourth act was
I
like pure
agree.
grind, I was out on that shit. But the first one, I fucking loved that game. It was sick. I thought that was a great use of the LOTR universe, even though, you know, maybe if you're a purist about Tolkien lore, which to me is a fucking
Which, if anyone
stupid...
would be, it would be you, I would think. But I guess
I believe in the spirit of Tolkien, not
okay,
in the fucking.
fair.
"Ah, well, this year the orcs did. Okay.
yeah.
Come on,
All right.
man.
Okay,
Yeah.
Karen.
But I thought it was a great use of the fucking IP, you know, and I thought also Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order this year, which I have only dabbled in though. My knowledge of it though, like based on that, like it's a great way to use the universe, right?
Yeah,
And
I've talked
hopefully
about that
they
one
accomplish
before.
something like
It's
that with
okay.
this game, right? It looks like you're gonna be doing all kinds of shit. You have fucking potions class. There's Quidditch probably as a mini game, and there's dungeons and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I
that,
wonder
it
how
looks
like
you know?
the character classes will be if there is.
Yeah, I
something
bet you
like
you'll
that. There's gotta
specialize,
be,
and
right?
then you'll have
Yeah.
like. I bet you they'll find a way to just fucking work it all into very
Who the
conventional
fuck
RPG
is
categories.
developing
you know?
it? Is it
I don't
Warner
know.
Brothers?
I don't know.
They still have Warner Brothers fucking games. Oh, Avalanche Studios. Who's that?
Oh, cool. They did the Mad Max
Mad
game,
Max.
buddies?
Yeah,
They're making a Harry Potter game? All right. That game was tight. That was a good game.
I heard it was
It was
criminally
very underrated.
Yeah.
Very underrated, yeah.
I don't even think you're gonna play the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
Because there'll be some other shit
Yeah,
like if it
maybe.
makes, and you'll be like, yeah, I'll get to it, and then you'll just never get.
will. Yeah.
I don't think I will either, to be fair. But
Yeah.
actually, I know Leanna will.
You
So
know what,
it'll
though?
definitely be on in my house. Somebody will be playing.
Secretly,
it.
man, I'm stoked on Harry Potter. I'm like actually
that's no
fucking,
secret.
you know, I
Nothing to be ashamed of.
I really, really like the Harry
There's
Potter
nothing to be
universe.
ashamed
It's
of, man.
fucking tight.
Harry
I love
Potter
the Harry
is
Potter
very.
universe.
It's
Sick.
Very well
That was the
thought
first
out.
book I ever actually read. You know, I loved like.
honestly, I think it's one of, if not the first book I've read as well. And it wasn't even the first one. I was a stupid kid. I watched the first movie and then I read the second book. I was a fucking dumb kid.
Dude, I read the fucking book a year before the movie came out.
No
and
shit.
So I was fucking
So you
pumped.
did it right,
And
man.
that year, I think both fucking Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter got movies. You know?
No way.
So that was
I
fucking
guess
sick.
like
yeah.
2001.
2001. Yep.
Compare that to like now, fucking
Yeah.
shitty Mulan
Yeah,
and stuff. Like,
Fucking, yeah. And I like both those movies actually. I fucking love both
Yeah.
those series of movies. They were really good. All of them.
Damn.
I like it a lot. Yeah. Fucking next was the COD game, which
Call of Duty.
next interesting one actually. I'm just fucking going over the stuff that I fucking didn't feel was interesting. If you had any other ideas,
honestly, the
you
only
feel
thing
free
I can add to
interject.
this, the only thing is that like when I see fucking and FPS games were for a long time like my favorite video games. They're just so goddamn stale now, man. They're so fucking like, what the fuck FPS game looks like fun or exciting?
I don't know. I
What
wanted
do
to play
you
Doom
fucking
Eternal,
see
but
it-
then I watched a lot of the footage, and to me, like, the reason I haven't played
I
that one
think-
yet is because the way the encounters are designed, I'm not into that kind of shit. You know, like
how
it sounds
there's,
like
they
wave-based encounters of
Yeah.
the same fucking enemies at the beginning and end of the game.
You know what it is
Not
more
in.
than
like
than that. It's the levels are more like arena based. They kind of like they still make cool levels, but the level design they focus on like specific fighting areas that are made to have like, you know, like jumping routes and stuff that you can, you know, run and jump, and they have the bar you can like swing off of in Eternal, and because you always have to be active and moving, right? Whereas like that's all great, sure, but some of like good level design is also like maybe purposely making things fucking hard because you know what I mean, like
I think
putting you in a cramped hallway and like throwing enemies at you just because like, hey, you know, it's
I think so.
why would a level be like this, like parkour friendly? I don't know. I
don't know
can
either,
see
man.
what you're saying.
It really
Maybe
drives me
takes
nuts though
away
when I start
from
to
the
see
design.
in a game when you're like, this is the part where you notice that everything you see is just a skin on top of the fucking action
Yeah.
they want you to be doing. I
Yeah.
cannot stand that. That's the part where the medium breaks
See,
down.
that
for me,
takes
know?
you out of it, right?
Just
That's like
fucking might as well
immersion.
put that shit away. Yeah, there's no point then. You know, it destroys the
Doom
purpose
Eternal
of
is good, but fucking just something about like even like just these Call of Duties every year and the military shooters, like there's just nothing there for me anymore.
Honestly, the
like-
reason I really liked the COD campaign last year is because it was nice, short, and I really got the point of it.
Yeah.
It was really well thought out. They had nice
That's
set
true.
pieces and
I did
imagery
play
and
through
shit.
that, too.
If that was 30 hours long, it would
No, you
be
wouldn't.
fucking terrible.
You wouldn't fucking.
But they don't have
I
to
only
be 30
played it
hours
because
long.
it was 8
has
hours.
To be 6
yeah.
to 8 hours. It
Yeah.
was good, man. It was powerful.
That's
it was
true.
good.
Yeah, it was
I dug
good.
it. I
was
did
good.
dig it. Yeah.
But you're right. 8-hour story. Like
Yeah.
you could do it. I did it in 2 sittings. You could do it in one if you really want.
What is
Put
the
it on easy.
aversion to this nowadays? Like, why are people averse to this shit? Is it for some fucking bullshit, like monetary reason that I don't understand because it's not worth your time?
I think if nowadays if somebody released a 6 to 8 or 10 hour FPS game without like multiplayer, it'd be dead in the water.
Why? Yeah, that's totally nothing to do with the new COD, but that's, I guess, our feelings evoked.
That's what happens when we start talking about FPS.
Yeah, so the next thing they showed was the fucking Resident Evil 8 Village fucking trailer that we haven't seen before, and I was actually confused when I first saw it as to whether or not it actually was the Resident Evil 8 trailer. Like, it seemed like it at first, but then they had that weird, like, Tim Burton-esque, like...
Yeah, that was
fairy
weird.
tale segment.
That was
strange. I guess it kind of shows you what they're going for with this game, though. It looks like they're going with first-person gameplay, incidentally, what we were just talking about.
Right.
But also with a sort of fucking mood that we haven't seen before in the Resident Evil games. You know, if the last one was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, maybe this is like Dracula, right? Like, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Dracula or like some kind of werewolves and shit like that.
It does seem to be going in a similar but very different direction. That was weird, the animation thing.
Not like Southern Texas horror. This is more like fairy tale, like werewolves and vampires and fucking
that makes
folksy,
sense. Yeah,
like horror, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it looks pretty tight, man. I really like Resident Evil 8. I really like 2 and 3 remakes. So what can I say except that I'm very excited for this game.
Yeah, this one looks like it'll turn out good.
Yeah, Capcom is a good studio or publisher, whatever they are. They do have an internal development house, probably called Capcom, eh? Or do they?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Didn't they develop? I feel like such a moron. Didn't they develop Devil May Cry?
Like, they did. Yeah. What is that called though? Are they called Capcom the publishing and
Capcom's
the developing studios?
Let's look them up, bud. The Capcom. Oh my god, this is way too much. Development studios.
Yeah, man, internal development studio. So yeah, that's what we're referring to. They're a great developer, great fucking publisher. At least in the past couple of years. One of the flagship fucking publishers of the 8th gen, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. If you think about it, holy fuck, Capcom.
Yeah,
Ever since
they've
Resident
been
Evil
strong.
7, they've been
very strong. Yeah.
Really strong. Yeah, Resident Evil 7.
I'm pretty sure
Resident
DMC 5 was a pretty big hit too, right? I liked it.
World, so fucking all kinds.
That was the biggest Monster Hunter ever. And it was on fucking main consoles. Yeah,
successful to this day. Well, really
I like Capcom. Good for them.
I love Capcom too. Yeah. They're a good publisher developer. Yeah, great. Next was Deathloop. And it's hard to say equally that I love Bethesda like I do Capcom. But I do love Arcane,
Arcane is sick. I do love Arcane. Definitely Arcane is sick.
They're a great developer, man. I have played most of their games. I haven't played Prey yet. I would like to get around to that eventually, but it fell by the wayside, honestly. So much fucking shit.
Yeah, same.
All this whole gen is just overcrowded.
There's too much now. What are you going to do? Like,
it's really difficult.
We got to split them up. We got to quit our jobs.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. Become professional video gamers.
Professional video gamers.
The first thing I noticed though about Deathloop was that, again, I think I said this last time we saw fucking footage of it, was that it looks like you're fucking playing at Dishonored with different fucking characters in a different setting. You know what I mean? Like the way that guy holds the sword, like the animations and the movement and everything.
It looks very familiar in that sense.
Which I mean is made by the same studios.
Which
I'm sure
is great,
they're using the same tools and assets. So that's pretty cool. I did love Dishonored. I mean, maybe they'll fucking change the angle the guy holds the sword at, or fucking am I talking out of my ass? Yeah. But it did look fucking really cool in that respect. Dishonored had some great fucking movement systems, buddy, especially in terms of that fucking blink system where you kind of target on the ground and you go to where you're fucking looking. And, we learned from this trailer, or at least I did, because maybe other people knew already, how Deathloop is going to be structured. And it looks like they're going to fucking put you into these maps or loops. I bet you they're going to be like the levels of Dishonored. Like each fucking level will be a certain loop, right? And you're going to have to fucking take out a certain number of targets within that loop.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a time limit to do so.
This is what
it showed in that fucking
trailer.
it
did show? Because I missed some of this one.
Yeah. It showed fucking this guy talking about himself in this fucking 24-hour loop, and in the first instance he kills one target.
Says there's never enough time to take all the targets.
And the second he kills the other, but he's always trying to miss one, and he figures out eventually a solution to kill both of them at once. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a fucking great opportunity, I thought to myself when I watched this, to fucking employ like the immersive sim fucking genre, to explore this idea, right? Like this Groundhog Day fucking style. Like, what is better for that than fucking the immersive sim genre, like predicated entirely on the interaction between objects in the world, right? Like, immersive sim is all about like fucking causality, like naturally in the fucking game world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's this fucking door, this is how shit works and this is what you could do. So you have to put together in your head a solution to the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're fucking telling me like the premise is go in here and figure out how to do this thing and there's conflicting causality and your job is to figure it out, that's sick. Arcane is fucking especially suited. If I had to fucking think about a studio like who the fuck made the recent Deus Ex games? I think it was Crystal Dynamics, actually.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Other than them, with that game, I think Dishonored and fucking, Arcane are probably the best representations of that format, that I could conceive in the 8th gen. So, like, these guys are especially suited to make a
Deathloop
game
looks
like this.
fucking, yeah.
It's a really cool, like, murderous fucking take on, like, a puzzle game, I guess you could say, almost, right? I guess immersive sims generally are, so that looks tight, man, yeah.
And it's an exclusive to PS5.
And that's another pretty cool thing.
But I could have sworn it was coming to Xbox too. Did we ever see it?
I thought it was. I don't
know.
But we did see it at the first PlayStation event back earlier in this year.
So maybe, fuck.
Yeah. That's a big man, an Arcane exclusive? Are you kidding me?
That's interesting. We're treading new water here for next gen. Yeah, this is great, man.
That's the other thing. Sorry,
stoked.
just to reiterate, what the fuck is that Potter game's not an exclusive. Final Fantasy is an exclusive. You have an exclusive Final Fantasy game, an exclusive Arcane game.
You know what? That immediately jumped out to me because I was like, well, that's a huge fucking game. But on the flip side, how many people bought it on the Xbox?
Probably nobody.
Maybe it wasn't even worth it. And they're like, you know what? Fucking Sony's like, we'll give you a little bit of money. We'll make a deal, whatever.
I'm sure
let's make things work here. Because that's a big title to have.
Yeah.
Like, that on paper is like, holy fuck. What do you mean?
That is the PlayStation
what do you mean
brand,
Xbox
so
is
far
not
as I'm
getting...
concerned, right? Like, if you think of PlayStation, that's Final Fantasy.
But we're old men who've been around since the
Final
Fantasy, since the PlayStation 1 and 2 days, right? So
yeah, that's right, yeah. Now PlayStation and Souls is the PlayStation brand.
Maybe, fuck. Yeah. Demon Souls now?
Yeah.
That's also exclusive on the PS5.
That's
not even on the PC.
Buddy.
I think Final Fantasy 16 is coming out on the PC. Just not the Xbox.
Yeah, when we say exclusive now, I just mean in the console space.
Exactly.
I'm just assuming everything's coming out also on PC nowadays.
Right, exactly.
I think, though, other than that, the last fucking couple of games we're talking about are, firstly, there's this new Oddworld game. You know Oddworld?
Yes, yeah.
Munch's Odyssey,
Oddworld
Stranger's Wrath and shit.
Was my, like, bathroom break moment when I was watching it, yeah. Even though I know, like, not to be, Oddworld isn't shit or anything else. I just had to go with that.
They're more like old school kind of gritty fucking character platformers. And not much to say on this subject other than I'm glad they exist, buddy. It's pretty cool that, this is the kind of game that, like, I would never go to as a first choice, frankly.
Obviously, yeah.
But it's cool that they're still exploring these genres, right? It's nice that it seems
that's
like
the flip side of it
things
for
are not
me.
so homogenous. I mean, maybe if we go back and look at the history, it won't, actually be this way. But my impression was things were more homogenous even at fucking a few years ago in this generation, I didn't see one fucking Battle Royale game there.
Yeah, you did.
Did they show Fortnite?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I didn't see one actual game that was a Battle Royale there.
I think that trend is going bad now. I think it's doing it, you know what I mean? If you think about it, like, if you're making a Battle Royale game, you're going up against Fortnite. How smart is that? Not very. So, like... You know what I mean?
And lastly, they showed fucking footage from Dark Souls Remaster. And what did you think of that footage, man? What did you think of the Demon Souls Remaster footage?
You know what? I didn't play as much of Demon Souls as you probably did because I suck at those games. But so I didn't really like recognize much of the like the settings. Was any of it from World 1 too?
It was from World 1. I don't know which of the ones, though. The first area, like, you're in a bunch of fucking hallways and shit. They all look the same. But then you could definitely tell when you're in the fucking certain areas of the mines.
I didn't fully recognize it, but I mean, the gameplay looked sick. Like,
you recognize all those bosses, Tower Knight, fucking that dragon on the bridge there, the fucking
that one,
Flame Lurker.
That's cool. Like, I mean, it looks good to me, and I was surprised as fuck to find out now that it's coming out at launch. That's
important. That's super important. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that changes everything.
We talked about that last week. That I don't think it's a launch title. They never said it was a launch title. Now apparently it is a fucking launch. That's big. Yeah, that's big.
That's big.
Fuck, what the hell?
I know what I'm doing in November. 2 months from now. All right, I'm done.
Like, are you kidding me? I have PlayStation Plus again now because it's like, fuck, we're gonna be playing Dark Souls soon. And then we had that conversation. I was like, yeah, there's no way that game's gonna be ready for launch. I was like, it is. Fuck, now it is. So, buddy, I'm on board, dude.
I'm going to become like Souls monogamous. I'm just going to play Souls games from now on.
Yeah.
I just don't care about anything else. It's hard to get that.
I know.
It's hard to play another game and like, I don't feel like when I'm playing a Souls game, that fucking sense of like, fuck. Like, you feel engaged. Even if you're pissed off, you're engaged. You're not thinking about something else. You're fucking in the moment.
Maybe that's why you can get so pissed off because you're into it, right? You are engaged. Like, it's
when I'm playing other things,
it's not
like,
fucking I died, you just turn it off and then like, I don't give a shit. Like, fuck this.
Yeah. That's right. And even the fucking other Souls-likes, though, they fucking have a way of constructing a universe that has, like, it fucking gets into your head.
Yeah.
You're into it,
It seeps in. I know. It really, like, even Sekiro, I remember, like, reading about some of the lore and stuff and just being fucking mesmerized by, like, those fucking, those monks that turned into fucking, like, worms and shit. All that fucking, I was like, what the hell is this? It's cool, though.
Senpu Temple monks.
Yeah. What was that place called, like, near the end?
The Fountainhead Palace.
Yeah, that was sick, right? Like, I didn't
all that
even
shit
make it
happened
that far,
because the
but
fucking guy stole a fucking limb from this tree, like the dragon's body, essentially.
Yeah.
And fucking, it was rotting, and fucking all of the monks were eating the eggs of the fucking worms that grew
that's
in.
fucked up.
They live forever, but they were monsters.
Yeah.
Obscene immortality.
That's
It was
crazy,
beautiful. What a great game. See, who thinks of, like, you know, you're not going to find that kind of stuff. Like that sentence I just fucking uttered, like, there's enough packed into that shit, into the idea behind that game to spend some actual time thinking about, you know?
Yeah, lots, definitely.
It's got some universal concepts.
All of the Souls games,
yeah,
right?
man. Most
even the
games don't
Souls
have that.
fucking spin-offs, the Souls likes, I mean, like...
Even Code Vein.
Yeah,
you know?
Code Vein, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're all
it's
very
anime,
fucking...
goofy, booby way. Like, yeah. They definitely do.
I love Japan. Thank you, Sony, for a fucking sick showcase today. And it was
that was fun.
straight
Thanks
games,
for
no
impressing me. That
bullshit.
was nice. Yeah, very cool. Looking forward
PS5.
to fucking playing the Dark Souls remaster.
Fuck.
Yeah.
right? Demon Souls.
Yeah, I keep saying that.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. Demon Souls, PS5.
Let's do it.
November, fucking, what did they say? The 12th?
November fucking, I don't know, whatever, yeah. As soon
November.
as they can fucking send it to us, man. One other
We'll
thing
be
I
on
want to
there
talk about
day
before we
one.
shut this shit down is the fucking Cyberpunk 2077 fucking universe.
That's right.
And the book about it that I found on Amazon that, I did not expect that such a thing would be out. There's a book called The World of Cyberpunk 2077, which I thought was an art book, but it's like a full-fledged...
I read some reviews on Amazon. You
Yeah.
weren't the only one who thought it was gonna be just like an art book or whatever. Yeah, and it's fucking... It's crazy, that thing.
It's tight. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's like an encyclopedia having to do with, like, the history of the world up until the fucking events of the game and, like, the social structures and all of the gangs and organizations and technology and shit. And I fucking have really been enjoying reading it. You know, it's super cool, man.
Yeah, you can tell just from the art and just the way it's presented in that book. Like, there's a lot of craft and, like, care going into this universe. It's fucking... If you're even remotely interested in Cyberpunk, this book is fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's got everything. It's kind of, I guess, hugely spoiler fucking rific.
I guess maybe,
if you
but,
want to
like,
go in, a lot of people
Probably
like
not
to go
about
in.
the story. It doesn't tell you nothing about that, but
That's true, but a lot of people want to go in like totally blind and experience the whole.
I feel though if you go in and you want to really understand what the fuck's going on, maybe reading something like that might.
But this, if anything, it looking at it makes me want to jump in more than when I was going in blind.
for sure. Oh,
because I don't fucking know what the
so
fuck.
much
Now that I
so much so. That's why I read spoilers, bro. You want to know about the logic of the game. Like, if it's stupid, I'm not going to participate. You know what I mean? Like,
thinking of you, The Last of Us 2.
But one thing exactly. One thing I really, am interested in about this game, and not to say that I approve or disapprove of it, is its approach to fucking the concept of, like, what it calls cyberware, like human enhancement or cyber augmentation of the human body and shit like that. Its approach is very much analogous to, like, to frame this, it's the whole premise of the game is that late in the 21st century, corporations gain, like, really intimate access to world government, exploit resources to the point that they destroy the world.
Jesus
and,
Christ.
After all the governments collapse, all that's left is fucking corporations to run everything, essentially. You know, so
Pretty much where we're headed anyway.
Yeah, apparently. You know, but all that stuff aside, like, the approach to cybernetics and human enhancement is essentially analogous to this idea that, like, in the same way that people fucking exploited the earth and fucking destroyed it for the profit, so they will exploit the human form for gain and profit. Which, like, I hope it doesn't seem that it will be, but I really hope that it has a more subtle take on the fucking thing than that. Like, it's not climate change of the human body, simply cybernetics. Like, that would be pretty doofy. You know what I mean? Like, this purely dystopian, like, and it really, I don't think it is the presentation of that, though, right? Like,
you never know.
The whole book, like, presents it as, like, cybernetics,
just like
cyberware arose as, like, just an enhancement of the idea of, like, fucking prosthetics in the early 21st century,
right?
Like, and they were used for veterans and stuff like that who came back from these corporate wars, and they were really perfected in that sense. But
So it's just like an addition to the universe. It's not like
like
what you're
I
saying.
think though, like
the game being rooted on
the game is very much though, at least according to what the people who are making it have said about it, it's very much like, at least in terms of its universe and its themes, is very much this idea about like what it means to be a human, and if augmenting the human form means not being a human anymore, right?
Yeah.
So like, again, like the thrust of this is that there is this dystopian fucking, element to human fucking enhancement and modification in that, and in the same way that the Earth was fucking in this universe, like fucking raped and fucking laid bare for resources.
Yeah.
Exploited, like so will the human form be for, fucking dehumanizing people and turning them into instruments, essentially, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, to the point of death, like
pretty heavy.
Although, like, I don't know that that's like. My point is that what is the inner logic of this game? Is this its ultimate assessment of this, this fucking notion of human enhancement, or is that just a dark way that it could be taken? Whereas the protagonist will probably end up being some kind of like, there's a character called Johnny Silver, who is Keanu Reeves' character.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Who I think is some kind of like rebel against the government who fucking uses cybernetics to fucking fuck with shit and like,
Sounds like Watch Dogs. I'm not
revolutionary
interested.
faction. Yeah. I think though, like, I'm definitely interested in this, like, this exploration of what it means to fucking what it means for a thing to be a thing, right? Like, and if something is still itself when it changes its parts,
Yeah. No,
and if changing your parts necessarily means making you something worse or better than what you are, right? Like, the game seems, and probably the whole genre of cyberpunk seems like very, intimately related to these ideas.
Fucking, I can't wait to find out. Well, hey, fuck, you don't have long to wait till Demon Souls comes out.
Demon Souls, and Cyberpunk. Why the fuck do those games have to come out the same week? What the fuck is that? Listen to this shit. Here we are. That's bullshit. Oh, fuck.
God, I never thought of that.
Oh, my God.
Within a fucking week.
Those are both, like, month-long endeavors.
You gotta, like, split yourself in half.
No, you gotta make a choice, man. Gotta make a choice.
Yeah, realistically, yes.
Gotta make a choice. That's a tough choice.
And we can't even split them as in, like, you play one, I play the other, then we'll, flip, because we want to play Demon Souls together if it's possible, right?
Fuck.
Well, maybe you want to solo it too, though, don't you? Or do you care about that?
I'm sure it's going to be such that you can only help somebody after you've already
done it?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? So I got to do it myself again?
No, I'll fucking run through it and then come back.
And then go,
Or if you're ahead of me, you can come back.
Oh, I won't be ahead of you. Let's be real.
Yeah, you possibly can. Why not, man?
I'll try. I can make it a mission. I'll take 2 days off when PS5 comes out, and I'll fucking bang at it.
Yes. I guess maybe then, though, we should fucking cut her, eh?
Yeah, let's give it the good old axe and
thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the fucking PS5 event as much as we did, and
we fucking enjoyed it for sure.
Listening to us ramble about it. So you guys have a good fucking evening, and we'll chat soon.
Finish your games, finish your beers. Cheers, man.